Hi, welcome to Neal Appeal Food for Real. How y'all feel? Come on, keep it real. Did you eat something healthy today? I done already told y'all. I'm going to ask you that every time because I want you to keep it in the forefront of your mind that eating junk and processed foods causes your health to decline. Oh, but together we can make America great again. One plate at a time. Speaking of plates, I know y'all hungry, so come on, let's get cooking. Today we're doing Amish cuisine. We're making Amish Chow-Chow, Amish one-pan plant-based ground and cabbage skillet, Pennsylvania Dutch stuffed cabbage rolls, and we're going to throw in Dutch Bitterballen. So since I'm showcasing about 4 different recipes today, I'll give you a brief explanation of each one of them right before I'm about to prepare it. But for now, I just want to give you a quick rundown about the Pennsylvania Dutch. The Pennsylvania Dutch, also known as Pennsylvania Germans, are a cultural group of German settlers who moved to central Pennsylvania during the 18th and 19th centuries. Now, over a period of time, the various dialects spoken by these immigrants fused into one unique dialect of German called Pennsylvania German or Pennsylvania Dutch. So when I speak of Pennsylvania Dutch, I'm speaking of a dialect, not the Dutch people from the Netherlands. The Pennsylvania Dutch are made up of a range of religious groups, including the Amish, our featured cuisine of the day. Now, the Amish are known for their simple lifestyle, their plain dress, and their reluctance to adapt to many conveniences of modern technology. The Amish are some of America's best cooks, preparing natural food of incredible flavor and quality from ingredients grown on their very own farms. So with that being said, our meals today are centered around 3 favorite dishes of the Amish. Are you here for it? I am too. Let's get going. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, especially if this is your first time here. But for the rest of you, you know how we do. But we ain't doing that today. I mean, I'm prepared, but I really am scared. 'Cause I ain't never made none of these dishes before. So I really don't know what's in store. All I know is that we definitely gotta be what we're making today. So go put your clothes on. Put your mind on. 'Cause it's time to get our grind on. Did y'all hear what I say? Bring all that positive energy my way. Now, I know y'all was expecting a grand entrance, but I done already told y'all the Amish ain't into all that. They laid back. You see, I didn't have to do my hair. I just threw my bonnet on. Ain't no dance, ain't no rhyme, and this food don't take a whole lot of time. So come on. So we have our ground nutmeg, turmeric, mustard seed, cayenne pepper, thyme, honey, onion powder, sea salt, paprika, celery seed, black pepper, whole peeled tomatoes, kidney beans, grapeseed oil, coconut vinegar, butter beans, our agave sweetener, organic spelt flakes, our Beyond Beef plant-based ground, our tomato paste, green beans, garbanzo bean flour, chickpea crumbles, vegetable broth, earth balanced organic coconut spread, cabbage, red onion, green tomato, lime, and celery. We're going to start with one of the most specialty items that the Amish enjoy canning called Chow-Chow. Now, Chow-Chow is a colorful, tangy, sweet and sour mix of vegetables and flavors. It's basically a relish that pairs with everything. Rooted in German cookery, it's a genuine Amish delight. So here are all the vegetables that go into the Chow-Chow. We have our green tomatoes, butter beans, kidney beans, red onions, green beans, cauliflower, green peppers, cabbage, celery, and orange peppers. And we're going to cook each vegetable separately in a small amount of water over medium heat until they're tender. Not mushy, but tender. Cook all except the butter beans and the kidney beans. So I have my cauliflower and green beans going, and then my cabbage, and I have my peppers in the back. I know they said do each one separately, but I'm doing them together because I want to. Thanks. Now it's time for us to work on the pickling syrup. So we're going to add to our seasonings spring water. And the recipe calls for cider vinegar, but I'm using coconut vinegar. Sifting in my agave sweetener. We give it a stir and we let it come to a boil. And so now we just gently spoon all of the vegetables that we cooked and drained into the pickling syrup and let it come to a boil again. Now this next dish that we're about to prepare is actually called Amish one-pan ground beef and cabbage skillet. But of course, because I'm vegan, I've replaced the ground beef with plant-based ground. Now this dish goes right along with the Amish simple lifestyle. It's budget friendly, uses very few ingredients, it's made in one dish, and it's so simple, honey, you can't mess this one up. Let me show you. So I have my onions and celery going, and now I'm going to add in the plant-based ground. So to our plant-based ground, we're going to add tomato paste, honey, and the lemon or lime juice. Give it a stir. So make sure your hands are clean for this part because we're going to crush the tomato with our hand, squeezing the juice out. Why are we not using a knife? Because we're crushing it with our hand. We don't want knife cut. I'm getting way more juice out of this by using my hand than I would be using a knife. That's the purpose of using our hand. And we give it a stir and let it simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. So since we're doing 2 meals in one, I went ahead and split up the ground mixture so that we could do the cabbage skillet. And now I'm going to add the cabbage to the pan. Now you can add your salt and pepper to taste, but then you're going to cover and let it simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes or until the cabbage is soft, and then this will be done. The next ingredient we're going to make is our Pennsylvania Dutch stuffed cabbage rolls. Now this dish has become a staple in many of the Amish homes. And once again, it's simple, not hard at all to make. And it's hearty and bursting with flavor. You can stuff it with quinoa, black wild rice. We're going to use that plant-based ground again. Oh, and we're going to stuff a couple of them with some Chow-Chow today. Let's get that one going. So I have my power cooker going for the rice. To my wild rice, I added 1 bay leaf, 1 sprig of thyme, 2 tablespoons of vegan butter, shallot, red onion, vegetable broth, sea salt, and pepper. So now we're going to combine the ingredients to stuff the cabbage rolls. We have our plant ground mixture, our wild rice, smoked paprika, a dash of sea salt, pepper, a dash of cayenne, and veggie broth. Going to give that a mix. By the way, we put the remainder of the tomato sauce in with the ground mixture and saved a little bit to pour on our cabbage rolls before putting them in the oven. So here's our mixture. Now let's get the cabbage. So we cut the core of the cabbage before boiling it, and after a couple of minutes, it's easy for you to peel off the outer leaf. So we're going to use about 2 tablespoons of the filling. And then we just pour some sauce on the top. And we put it in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes because our insides are already cooked. Word on the curb is that Chow-Chow makes everything taste better. So I'm going to make another batch, adding the Chow-Chow mixture. And we put it in the oven for the same amount of time. So our last dish that we're going to prepare is called Dutch Bitterballen. Do y'all know what that is? Have you ever heard of it before? Honeys and babies, that's okay. Because I only stumbled across it because I was looking up the Pennsylvania Dutch recipe. And I guess because of the word Dutch, it just populated in my search. And when I read the ingredients, I saw that it was using the same things that I was already cooking with. So I said, hey, let's just throw this in. So let me tell you about bitterballen. First of all, bitterballen is the plural form of the word bitterball. Honey, based off the name alone, there was nothing exciting or appetizing about me trying to make this recipe. Bitterballen? I don't like bitter food. Do you? But you know me, I'm always broadening my horizons. And I read the recipe and I said, hey, I'm already using about 3 or 4 of these ingredients. Why not give it a try? Don't knock it before you try it. So I'm very nervous about it, but excited at the same time because based off the ingredients and my little chef skills that I do have, I can see it being pretty good. So let me share with you what I found out about bitterballen. First, let's talk about the name and where it came from. Now I need to read this to y'all. It says, the bitterball derives its name from a generic word for certain types of herb-flavored alcoholic beverages called a bitter in Dutch, and are popularly served as part of a bitter garniture, a selection of savory snacks to go with drinks at pubs or at receptions in the Netherlands. Okay, so I didn't even know that they put herbs in alcoholic beverages, but I mean, that's just something that, yeah, it makes sense now. Okay, bitter, I get it. So that was the name. Now that helps a little bit. Does that clear you up a little bit? No? Okay. Well, anyway, so let me tell you about this bitterballen. Bitterballen are a Dutch meat-based snack made by making a thick roux out of beef broth and flour. And what you do is you sit the roux in the refrigerator so that it firms. And then you take it out and you roll it into meatball form. And you bread it and you fry it. Now they say it's totally different than a regular meatball when you bite into it because you get this crispy exterior but a gooey yet meaty interior. And they say it's different but delicious. I'm ready to try it. Oh, but of course, you know we're doing vegan style. So I'm going to replace the ground beef with the plant-based ground. And I'm going to replace the beef broth or stock with vegetable broth. So we're going to add the coconut spread to the pan. Now I'm going to whisk in the flour. And now I'm going to slowly stir in the vegetable broth. It should be nice and thick. And we leave this alone to simmer for a couple of minutes before adding in the other ingredients. So now we're going to stir in the thyme. Then we're going to add in the onion. And I know this looks very much like ground beef, but it is the plant-based ground. So I pre-cooked mine. Give it a stir before adding the seasonings. So to this we'll add our sea salt, pepper, and nutmeg. Nutmeg really helps with savory dishes. I know that's hard to believe, but it gives off a really good kick to your food. Give it a taste at this point to see if it needs more sea salt or pepper. So here it is. I know it looks mushy, but this is what it's supposed to look like. We transfer it to a Tupperware dish and we sit it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours until the gravy solidifies. So we'll sit these in the refrigerator as we work on our flour and breadcrumb mixture. So for the breadcrumbs, I just used organic spelt flakes, and I just added my favorite seasonings like onion powder, smoked paprika, sea salt, and oregano. And we're going to pulse it a couple of times. We don't want big flakes. We want to grind it down a little bit, but not really, really tiny either. You'll know it when you see it. And because I don't use egg, I went ahead and just mixed some garbanzo bean flour with a little bit of coconut milk. I added thyme, sea salt, pepper, and arrowroot to give it an eggy-like consistency. So first, we toss it in the flour. Then our egg-like mixture. Then the breadcrumbs. And this last one I'll do with the crispier breadcrumbs. And then we carefully drop them in the pan. Let them fry for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then you remove them onto a paper towel to absorb the excess oil. So we just took our cabbage rolls out of the oven, and they're looking lovely as ever. We're going to go ahead and plate everything up. So here we have it. Amish cabbage rolls, Amish Chow-Chow, and Dutch Bitterballen. Wow, take a look at this one-pan plant-based ground and cabbage skillet. Doesn't it look tasty? It's time for that taste test. Now y'all already know I ain't gonna be able to keep these constraints tied around my neck. Not for the taste test. I need everything working in full capacity. Honey, so what we gonna do is we gonna tie this a little bit different. Especially for this bitterball. I got to be totally ready for this. Matter of fact, let's start with that first. Lord, we gonna definitely pray today, because we ain't never had this before. I'm ready for it, Lord. Amen. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's good. That is good. So they say you can dip this in mustard, but I think this will go great with my garlic aioli sauce that I made. Look at the inside of that. That is really good. That is good. Okay, Bitterballen. You balling. So now I'm gonna taste that Chow-Chow. Mmm, 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 mmm. That Chow-Chow is good. Now, I'm gonna taste the cabbage roll. Just gonna cut a little piece. That is good. That is good. And now, the cabbage skillet. Now that is good. That is really good. Oh, and I gotta taste the cabbage roll with the Chow-Chow in it. Hold on, let me get that. Okay, so this is the cabbage roll with the Chow-Chow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is good. That is really, really good. So the Bitterballen, the Chow-Chow, the stuffed cabbage rolls, and the cabbage skillet. Everything was good. Y'all have got to give it a try. So honeys and babies, booze y'all too. Go get your Amish outfit. Make at least one of these dishes. And come back to the comment section and tell the people the truth. Honey, they need to know. I ain't lying. This stuff really is good. But before you go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.